Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good. Wait, where the fuck is it? Oh, here we go. Hello, everyone. I have been playing VRChat for a very long time, almost 4 years now. I have just under 6,000 hours, and a lot of those hours, like 99% of them, are spent in Publix, talking to people, arguing with them, picking at their brain. As many of you know, I love to debate. I love social interaction. I thirst it. I need it. I quench it. I can't help it. And one of the things I like to argue about most is men that use like female avatars. Like, why do they do that? VRChat is endless. It's infinite. You can look like literally anything. The only limit is your imagination. So why would you, as a grown-ass man, want to play as a little girl with a dress on? And that's what this video is going to be about today. I'm going to be diving into why they do this, the negative effects of it, the normalization of it, basically everything in between, and mostly all of the pathetic and meaningless excuses that a lot of these people give to justify it. Now, this video is meant to be sort of like an in-depth review or a guide for this topic. And for reference, again, I have thousands of hours, and 99% of those are spent talking to these very same people who do this very thing. So I am one of two people who is most definitely qualified to talk about this sort of thing. There are tons of other videos out there by brain-dead creators such as Twice VR, others I can't even name because they're just so insignificant to me, that they're all just copy and paste. They all say the same exact shit. It's just rinse and repeat, recycled bullshit. So the avatars are aesthetically pleasing to look at. It's just, it's no logic behind their like reasons or like points. So it's just ignore those idiots, ignore those fools. A good friend of mine has made a video debunking all them. So I will link that below if that's something you're interested in. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into why males would rather look like women.
I've never contradicted myself. You're just stupid. Okay, keep coping. Keep coping, bro. You say it's just pixels, but I bet you have thousands of hours. You've spent thousands of dollars. You spent hundreds of dollars on avatars. Okay, it's just pixels.
So, men using girl avatars. Why? I mean, who even cares, right? It's just a game after all. It's just pixels. Why does it matter? It's just fucking pixels. Like, who cares? It means nothing. There isn't really anything stupider that a person can say when being asked this very basic question. It's just a game, man. It's just pixels. These are excuses used by brainless subhumans who never put any thought into anything they say before actually saying it. These people lack the intelligence to simply understand that VRChat is all about choices, and a person's choices can say a lot about them, regardless of whether or not VRChat is just a game, or if these avatars are just pixels. To say that avatar choice is entirely meaningless is like saying that people's choices have no thought behind them, and that everything we do means nothing. It's just random. We randomly think of things and do them. Surely you can see just how stupid these meaningless excuses are. Another thing I would like to add to this is that VRChat is not only about choices, but everything is purely cosmetic, meaning every single avatar is all the same as far as gameplay goes. You are not granted advantages or benefits by choosing certain avatars. And my point in this is to shut up the morons who say things like, "Dirt, what about League of Legends? What about Overwatch? What if I play as a girl in Overwatch?" These are completely different categories that don't even exist in the same scenario. As I just stated, VRChat is entirely cosmetic. There are no weapon classes, role types, skill sets, there's none of that shit. So to even compare VRChat to games like Overwatch and League of Legends in terms of like the avatar you choose or the characters, you have to have some kind of learning disability. I mean, all of this is purely common sense. A fourth grader could put this together better than any of these grown-ass adults that I speak to on a daily basis. Also, these are excuses that I hear daily from trusted full-body people with like thousands of hours. VRChat veterans, if you will. And I mention this because oftentimes I will get the occasional visitor coming up to me and making these same arguments of, it's just pixels, so what, like who cares? And you know, for them, I fully understand where they're coming from. And for any outsiders out there who, you know, barely touch VRChat or maybe literally just started playing VRChat, you don't understand, You have to understand that people who play VRChat every day do not play it by choice anymore. They play it because they have a need to escape their empty fucking lives. And this is something that I need you to understand. I'm talking about, again, the trusted, full-body users with thousands of hours, most of which spent in front of a fucking mirror, cuddling other grown-ass men and little girl avatars. They have spent thousands of dollars for a top-of-the-line setup to have their in-real-life body mimic their VRChat avatar movements. This isn't some $300 Quest 2 Christmas gift where they touch VRChat once a month and then play Gorilla Tag for the rest of the year. No, these are people who spend more than half their day inside of VRChat doing completely degenerate things, wearing little anime girl avatars and having cuddle parties in the mirror for hours at a time, and spending hundreds of dollars on the side for shitty unoptimized booth avatars too. So, from your perspective, a visitor who plays VRChat once in a blue moon and only wears meme avatars to troll people, I fully understand where you're coming from. The things I say to these other idiots may not even make sense to you because you just simply don't even understand the full extent of the player base. But with this video, there is now no excuse to say such stupid things anymore.
You can like something
What do you mean?
necessity, wanting to have these desires to look like it or spend money on it. Okay, it's that simple. Desire. It's common sense. Yes, this is a choice. No, this wasn't forced on you. This is a desire you have.
So, moving on from that, let's get back to my question. Why do men choose to play as women? I will tell you why. Because they like the way it looks. Yep. It's really that simple. I mean, what other reasons does someone need to spend $60 on little anime girl avatars and prance around like a fucking fairy in a skirt? Surely it's only because they like the way it looks. Of course, I'm not an idiot, so I don't actually mean any of that. Once again, this is just another brain-led excuse, spoken by people who lack common sense and need to go back to school. No, I'm not denying their reason. The avatar in itself may look great. Hell, I might even like it. I might like the way it looks too. Nothing wrong with that at all. However, you can simply like the way something looks without crossing this line and wanting to unironically wear it 24/7. You like it so much that you need it to express yourself. You just need to wear it. Well, see, this doesn't make any sense now, does it? I like the way it looks. You like the way it looks. Except you exhibit irresistible urges to constantly need to look like it and wear it. And hell, even spend upwards of $60 just to have others perceive you as it. This, my friends, is called an obsession. Now, before I explain further, let me deepen my point a little on what exactly I'm talking about. When people say they wear avatars because they just like the way it looks, what they're not understanding is that we fully agree with that. We too, as men, like the way these cute little anime girls look. It's only natural. Us men are naturally drawn to cute things. We love cuteness. It is the only thing that controls our instincts and our desires. This is totally normal and understandable. However, what happens so often is that these dudes come into VRChat and see these cute anime girl avatars and they appreciate them just like any normal man would. But then they take it a step further and wear the cute anime girl avatar. They become the cute anime girl. They become their waifu. This thing they were just admiring and drooling over, they are given the ability to step into it and use it to express themselves. Is this a good thing? I mean, VRChat is all about expression and identity, right? People spend hundreds of dollars on avatars, hundreds of hours creating them just to look perfect. They spend thousands of hours in these avatars building an identity for themselves so that when you think of a person's name, the image of their avatar will pop up in your head. Like, oh yeah, that's the guy that uses that avatar. I mean, avatars are the #1 form of identity in VRChat, right next to voice and name. People remember you mostly based off of what avatar that you consistently wear, or main, I guess. Now, all of these points are the exact reason why grown men choosing to play as little anime girls is a bad thing. And whether you realize it or not, it has negative effects, and I will get into that. Wearing female avatars consistently and unironically will inevitably feminize you. It will emasculate you. People laugh at this, but it is entirely true. VRChat is known as the game that turns men into women. And it all starts with the avatar choice. Perfectly normal dudes come into VRChat thinking, whatever, it's just an avatar. And then within months, they're in full body, using Rindo avatars, sitting in front of the mirror in a fucking cuddle puddle with other grown-ass men wearing little girl avatars. This is a direct result of simply choosing an avatar. And if you disagree with me, then that's fine. You have the right to be wrong. So, none of this really answers my question, though. Why do men choose to play as women? There are two simple answers to this, and I will go over both of them. However, this video is primarily targeted at just one of the reasons.
I don't agree with using those avatars. That's why I'm like mostly usually in this. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, like I personally don't really
Because
care.
we are normal men who like to look like men, not little children with dresses on. That's some pedophile shit, and clearly he can't see that. He literally can't grasp that because he's retarded.
All right.
Nope, but now do.
If he had the least bit intelligence, he could understand very basic things, but obviously he can't because he's an idiot. Perversion and soy imbalance. These are two reasons responsible for all cross-gendering and trapping inside of VRChat. The reason I'm mainly focusing on here is the second reason, soy imbalance. What exactly do I mean by that? What is soy imbalance? Well, soy refers to a sort of internet slang reference to soy boy, and what that means is simply just men who lack masculine characteristics. So, to put this into context for soy imbalance, we are referring to the men who do this, but they are just in hard denial and like full coat mode. They screech into their microphones when confronted, deny simple logic, run you in circles, and inevitably they block you before saying some cringe insult to get last word in. Yes, this is all from experience. The argument may be about avatars, but that's not why I win them.
No. So, and you just proved the point again! Come on!
Men who cross-gender and fully admit to being femboy, trans, or anything in between, or just overly feminine in general, this does not apply to them. They are already fully in acceptance to what they are. This is why you'll never see overly feminine dudes wearing normal male avatars. They're always in overly sexual femboy avatars or little booth avatars. What we are referring to specifically is, again, the men who do this but are in hard denial about the reasons they do it. They aren't even fully aware of why they enjoy constantly looking like little anime girls with skirts and thigh highs on. And as a result, they just end up spouting out complete nonsense, like, who cares, it's just an avatar, because they're just progressing fags in denial. Like, look, two grown adult men touching each other's heads as playing as women. That is the most gay shit I've ever seen in my life. There's like nothing more faggoty than that. And like, honestly, like, just think about it. Here you are claiming to be straight dudes, totally straight, but then you guys go into VRChat and play as girls and head pat each other and rub each other's faces.
Your dad didn't hug you.
Okay.
That's rich coming from a dude playing as a woman on the internet. And you're saying my dad wasn't in my
bet
life?
Your dad didn't kiss you on the lips either.
You'll have a handful of these people who will flat out admit it without even realizing it. They say things like, I wear it because it's cute, which is, again, it's full admittance of I want to look cute. Again, we are in full agreement in thinking the avatar is cute. I would be foolish to say the avatar isn't cute. However, when you take it a step further and want to wear the avatar for the same reason you like it, then that is a lot different. Us men appreciate cuteness. Like I said, we do not want to look cute, though. We appreciate how cute our girlfriends look in their dress and outfits and their makeup, but we don't want to look like them. We don't want to wear the dress and the makeup and the skirts. We just appreciate the way all of that looks because it's cute. You can fully appreciate the way something looks without having urges or desires to look like it yourself. These are weak-minded and feeble men who allow themselves to give in to temptation. That we offer perfect male equivalents, optimized, quest-compatible, greatly rigged. They're great. They're full male equivalents, perfect male equivalents even, and they still refuse to switch, even though they say it's just an avatar, it doesn't matter. A good friend of mine always says, in VRChat, you either get the waifu or you become the waifu. and you freaks that put on your little anime girl avatars with your skirts and thigh highs, you have become the waifu. But I have good news. It is never too late to change, my friend. You don't have to be a sad, pathetic little dweeb skipping around in your dress, hanging out with other grown-ass men wearing little girl avatars. You can reclaim your dignity, reclaim your masculinity, and become a man. It all starts with the avatar choice. It's really that simple. And for those of you saying, I go to the gym every day and I'm 6'2" with a beard. I'm not feminine. I just like girl. Congratulations. You can be a 6'5" GigaChat elite lifter. But if you go home and jump in your little anime girl lolly avatar and prance around in your skirt like a fucking fairy, then all of that other shit doesn't even matter. The fact that you exhibit those types of urges and desires to do those things in the first place, they completely outroll the whole, I can't be a femboy, I lift weights and I'm jacked. That's ridiculous logic. I don't know how some of these morons even come to these conclusions in the first place. It's insane.
Denial about this shit. It's embarrassing. What am I denying? What am I denying? That I'm someone?
You're sitting here.
No, I'm not denying that I'm someone. I told you already.
It's never gonna happen to you, but here you are spending hundreds of dollars on big-titted anime girl avatars.
If I wanted to.
Alright, so I stated I would go over both reasons as to why men choose to play as anime girls. And here is the other one. Perversion. This one is pretty self-explanatory. I will summarize it though for everyone watching. A vast majority of these dudes play as avatars that they're sexually attracted to. I mean, guys will even admit it up front. Oh, I wear this avatar because it's hot as fuck. Oh, I like staring at my own tits when I look down. These are just sad, depraved incels who can't even play a social game without needing to fuel their perverted interests. And to say otherwise would be to lie to yourself. Again, that's just a quick summary. I may make a video going into further detail about that in the future, but for now, that will do. Alright, moving on. Let's get into the normalization of this phenomenon. Not only is the idea of men running around playing as women entirely accepted within VRChat, but it's also normalized and enabled. This is exactly why VRChat is such a cesspool of degeneracy and nothing but sexualization. Behavior like this being normalized only leads to self-deprecating results. Most of us are completely desensitized to a majority of the sexual stuff on VRChat anyways. Half-naked avatars have become an everyday normal thing to us since we pretty much see it every day. This is no different with men running around playing as little girls or big-titted anime girls. It's entirely enabled, so these dudes see no issue with it. They don't even understand the effects it has. Another important factor to this is simply just peer pressure. You see, Stanley Milgram, a social psychologist, conducted a series of experiments in the 1960s. He discovered that external pressure can enhance a person's natural cruelty. This can be directly tied in with just how you act in general around people, especially your friends. This is important because this is how you get other people roped in with wearing these cringe anime girl avatars. If they all see everyone else doing it and how it's completely normalized and enabled, they too will start doing it themselves. There's a grown man playing as a little girl with a dress on. Explain to me why.
And
why
what's
do grown
wrong
men
about
do
it?
that? He's a grown-ass man, that's why.
And what's the problem?
Anyways,
What?
I'm gonna actually
He can
swap my
use a
mana
model,
for
you're telling me?
And just answer my question. What is so hard about
I'm
it?
answering it.
What's
Like,
so hard
I'm
about it?
answering it.
Are
Why
you,
do
do you
you
have
not?
like a processing issue? Was your little brain overloading? To close this video off, I want to end it on something objective that isn't just based off of my experience or my opinion. In 2020, the National Library of Medicine conducted a study on disordered gaming behaviors. This led them to a consensus of what's known as the Proteus effect. This essentially refers to how people who spend a lot of time playing as a certain avatar will begin to change their demeanor to match more of their avatar. This is also true for things like role types as well. People who often play support roles tend to act more submissive and overall cooperative, while people with FPS type roles are more aggressive and toxic. Now take this and multiply it by cancer. That is what you get in VRChat. A large group of individuals who spent thousands of dollars to portray themselves as little girls with dresses on. VRChat is one of the only games where avatars are the most important thing overall. Avatars in VRChat are direct representations of who a person is. It is a gateway to their personality, given that they use them unironically and consistently, of course. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A full in-depth review/guide on why men choose to play as women. And if you disagree with me, again, well, like I said earlier, you have the right to be wrong. You can maul in your little skirt and pigtails all you want about it. Now, before I go, I want to mention that there have been, again, quite a few creators recently making videos on this very topic about men using girl avatars. And again, all of them are, of course, dudes who already use girl avatars, so the things they say are completely biased to begin with. Not only that, but it's all just the same copy and paste bullshit, watered down, rinse and recycle. No actual logic behind them. Please just ignore these fools and everything they say. A good friend of mine made a video recently tearing down each of their arguments flawlessly. So if you'd like to see that, I will link it below. I also have an epic server filled with a full in-depth band guide on how to properly purify VRChat and make it a clean environment for everyone. Everything from how to make tickets to how to format them with the proper evidence and so on. I hope you enjoyed this amazing video and use it to maybe change people's minds, or hell, maybe you're even one of the people I described in this video. Use this to make better of yourself. Stop hanging around people who will feminize you and tell you that it's totally normal for grown-ass men to run around playing as little girls with dresses on. It's not.